8 stands that would beat Saitama. Saitama, also known as One Punch Man, is regarded as one of the strongest characters in anime and manga history. His unmatched strength and speed have destroyed countless foes with just one punch. However, powerful manifestations of energy or spirit that could potentially stand a chance against him in battle. These stands possess unique abilities such as time manipulation, elemental control, and many more, making them formidable opponents even for someone as strong as Saitama. If you're curious, then watch this video all the way to the end, because today I'm gonna talk about the 7 stands that could defeat Saitama in a direct confrontation. But before anything, don't forget to like this video and consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy my content. And while you're at it, leave a comment letting me know your picks for stands that would beat Saitama. In One Punch Man, we are introduced to several characters who are extremely powerful, from heroes and villains. However, the character that we are going to be exploring is none other than the protagonist himself, Saitama, who's clearly one of the most broken characters in all of fiction, if not the most broken. The body with the white cape absolutely needs no introduction. He does not hesitate in showing us just how absurdly powerful, possessing seemingly limitless physical strength. He's capable of effortlessly defeating powerful monsters and villains with a single casual punch. So in today's video, we are going to see the stands that can in one way or another defeat Saitama, but it's important to establish some rules beforehand. Only the canon stands will be eligible for this list. And lastly, for obvious reasons, Saitama won't be able to see stands. Alright, it's about time we got started. The stand of the antagonist of Part 4, Yoshikage Kira. Killer Queen's powers revolve around setting up different kinds of bombs that can annihilate Kira's enemies in one blast, making it a very dangerous stand to face. Not only are the bombs powerful, but Kira is also able to deploy 2 initially, then eventually 3 kinds of bombs with different strengths, giving the serial killer a large array of options when dealing with his foes. The first bomb being anything the stand touches. Sheer heart attack is the second bomb, which takes the form of an automatic substand. And finally, the third bomb bites the dust, that I won't dwell too much on since it's very complicated to explain, but basically it explodes anyone who learns of Kira's identity through a specific host Kira chooses to plant bites the dust on. Now talking about the first bomb, once a target has touched the transmutated object, Killer Queen can detonate the target by pressing its right thumb onto a trigger located on its index fingers, imitating the action of pressing down a handheld detonator. If someone else touches the charged target before Kira can detonate, then they will be automatically blown up instead, consuming the charge. This can also be done through direct contact with Killer Queen or Kira himself, keeping the charging process. And this is what I'm gonna be focusing on for this fight, as there is no durability counter-argument against the first bomb. Its target itself becomes a bomb if touched, meaning the victim's body will be fragmented like a grenade no matter what. How is Killer Queen gonna touch Saitama then? Well, that's easy considering that the stand is invisible and Saitama would not take Kira seriously, giving him freedom to get closer and closer. The ultimate stand made in heaven is an extremely powerful, close-range time-controlling stand. Although its physical abilities may not be remarkable, its control over time grants an overwhelming speed advantage and even counters abilities that function with a time limit, like Star Platinum's Time Stop. However, its main interest for Pucci isn't its time power, but the ability to bring about a new universe with extraordinary properties. Mating Heaven's power is to dramatically speed up the flow of time, achieved through its ability to control the gravitational forces of the Earth, Moon, and seemingly the entire universe. In reference to aspects of Einstein's theory of relativity, we've seen that Pucci can pretty much rival any character in fiction as regards speed. That, coupled with the fact that Saitama can see Mating Heaven, gives enough time to Pucci to build up his speed/mass to a point where he can even kill Saitama with just physical attacks. Toru, like other rock humans, was abandoned by his mother as a baby and left in the forest. He soon sneaked the hornet's nest to continue his physical development. Roughly 17 years later, he progressed into his adult body, killing off the wasp colony in the process. He created his own name, just like other rock humans. His last name is unknown. It is also unknown if he stole another human's identity. He traveled to Moryu and entered society undetected. He's the architect behind the Lukakaka organization, using his stand to act as TG University hospital's head doctor Satoru Akifu. Along with the head doctor, Toru goes undercover as an ordinary part-time medical pupil at the hospital. Toru's main objective is to develop a revolutionary drug through the new Lokakaka to restructure the balance of power in society. He is ultimately revealed to be a stand user, possessing the disaster-causing Wonder of You, an automatic stand that causes anyone who indeed thinks about chasing the stand or Toru to experience a calamity onslaught. Wonder of You is able to create visions that can be transferred after a specific target. He can disguise himself and take on the appearance of a human, allowing him to interact with people. He can also produce illusions of himself, which can rapidly travel between places, appearing in transparent shells, like windows and picture frames. Wonder of You's capability is automatic and can be activated on anyone who looks at the doctor's back as an attempt to chase him or move towards him. While Wonder of You's power is active, targets will witness all types of conflict that do in the most ruinous manner possible. These disasters frequently involve an affected person constantly colliding with objects in the terrain, resulting in an injury far more severe than would be possible under normal circumstances. The ability trigger is fairly sensitive, as Mitsuba simply questioning Satoru Akifu's presence at the Higashikata residence was enough to activate it. The calamity's range is unknown, but it appears to be extremely large, as both Josuke and Mamizuku are affected despite being nowhere near Satoru Akifu's supposed whereabouts. The exact form the calamity's take varies, but it always involves turning aspects of the near terrain towards the target in a dangerous manner. Upon contact with any object under the influence of part of the calamity, the target receives an extremely disproportionate amount of damage, especially from impact. The damage the object can beget will only affect the target and not obstacles in the way or onlookers unaffected by the calamity. Objects touched directly by Wonder of You can be charged with calamitous energy as well, allowing the stand to produce more area hazards. However, another calamity will always follow shortly after if the target manages to avoid and survive a calamity. It's often said that Saitama's power is a parody of invincibility, but the Wonder of You's abilities isn't something that can be simply punched away. The nature of calamity manipulation is that it operates on probability and inevitability, areas where physical strength doesn't matter. While Saitama has never faced anything like Wonder of You in his own universe, the stand's power play in a dimension beyond Saitama's usual physical battles. Wonder of You uses probability to create impossible odds, attacking the target in such a way that Saitama would be thwarted at every turn, slipping on debris, falling through a collapsing building, or getting caught in some other unforeseen disaster. He's beaten reality warping entities before, but Wonder of You's ability doesn't seem to have a clear weakness that Saitama could exploit. Even if Saitama has the mental fortitude to keep moving through the calamities, the abstract nature of Wonder of You means there may not be a single target to punch or destroy. Unless Saitama can figure out a way to completely bypass the rules of Wonder of You's powers, he might find himself endlessly dodging fatal calamities without ever making progress. And even then, I don't think he can do it forever. In the end, the confrontation between Saitama and Wonder of You is less about raw strength and more about the conceptual nature of their powers. Saitama's unbeatable punch is based on overcoming physical obstacles, but the Wonder of You operates on a higher plane, one where fate and probability dictate the flow of events. Unless Saitama finds a way to disrupt the very nature of reality itself, he may find himself in a situation where his power simply isn't enough. In this unique case, Wonder of You could hypothetically defeat Saitama, not through brute force, but by turning fate itself against him. D4C is the stand of the US President Bunny Valentine, and unlike most Steel Ball Run stands, which mostly just help their users with their skills, D4C is a more conventional stand geared towards fighting, having high destructive power, being able to tear people's limbs off without the slightest effort. This combined with its nearly invincible abilities make D4C one of the strongest stands in the entire series, rivaling Gold Experience Requiem and Made in Heaven. D4C allows its user to jump and send other things to infinite dimensions. As seen in the Monk, there is the base dimension, in which the pieces of the corpse exist, and the others are just a reflection of this with minor change. To perform such an ability, Valentine must be between two objects, not important if they are liquid or solid, to force a person between two dimensions to send him, closing the door with someone who is between the wall and the door, for example. With this, Valentine can easily perform very creative surprise attacks. There is a law of physics in which two equal objects cannot coexist in the same dimension in the same place. Thus, if an object collides with itself from another dimension. The two will try to occupy the same space and end up annihilating each other. Valentine can simply take his opponent's self from another dimension and throw it at him, pulverizing. The only one immune to this rule was Valentine, who was able to unite with the bodies of his other selves, giving the impression that the two Valentines are merging. And there is also its most impressive ability acquired with the Saint's corpse, Love Train, a bright wall of light that serves to repel any misfortune. It works under the condition that Lucy still stays close to Valentine, but this is not unparalleled. Its weakness, gravity. Valentine could use Love Train in this battle, which would make him untouchable. Does he need it? No, he mustn't be hit by Saitama, obviously. Valentine can travel to another dimension fast enough to bring an alternate universe Saitama to combust him, and boom, fight is over. So the hand, or Zahando, is the stand of the mental midget Okuyasu, and it possesses the power to eliminate space and time. Every time he attacks with his right hand, he eliminates the space where the cut was made. Anything hit by the attack is immediately erased, and as said by Okuyasu, not even he knows where the erased matter goes. The hand can use this technique not only to attack directly, but also to eliminate the air in front of him, which allows him to attract objects or his opponents to him. In addition to this ability, the hand is also quite strong physically. Let's say for some reason Saitama gets pissed off and decided to rush at Okuyasu to attack him. Not knowing of the existence of the hand, he would get caught off guard, since the hand could keep up with the hero, given it's a powerful close-range combatant. Cream devours Vanilla Ice in itself like an Ouroboros, generating a void field where it stands. Anything that touches this field is instantly disintegrated. Vanilla Ice is completely invulnerable during this attack, and it is impossible to block against. However, Vanilla Ice is unable to see, being forced to partially return to be able to see and aim, thus being exposed to a possible counterattack. It does not exist in the physical world when it does this, as he was not detected by Avdo's stand, so the same case scenario, established with Saitama versus the hand, is valid here. But it gets even worse for Saitama this time around, because his whole enemy can become invisible and chase after its target relentlessly while still remaining unnoticed, so that would be an easy win for Vanilla Ice. If you're expecting me to just bring Gold Experience Requiem, I'm afraid I'm gonna disappoint you, because after a while it just gets boring to pull the same card over and over. So hear me out, let's reasonably discuss why the stand is here. To give you a brief summary of Giorno's stand, Gold Experience's main ability is that of transforming inert objects into living beings, whether it's a plant or animal, which Giorno can then control. Attacking such beings causes damage to be reflected back to the attacker. Giorno can undo the transformation at any time. Another ability that Gold Experience has is Thought Acceleration. A victim attacked by Gold Experience has his senses accelerated, which causes the impression of moving faster, but the body remains in the same state. This makes the pain caused by Gold Experience blows last longer. And later in the story, Gold Experience gains the ability to create body parts from inert objects. However, the healing process is quite painful. Among all of these abilities, the one that stands out in this fight is the creation of life. Completely indifferent, Saitama would immediately charge to finish Giorno off. Giorno could then turn one of his ladybug bros into an animal like a toad or something and put it in the way of Saitama's fist. You know what happens then? Who better to put Saitama down than he himself, right? More so than the original Gold Experience. I bet you weren't expecting to see this stand make an appearance on this list, but let's take a closer look into what it brings to the table. Much like his brother's stand was Edie's, Atten has the power to steal souls from someone who has recognized defeat in the game, which Terrence typically uses in video games. Stolen souls are placed inside dolls, specially made by Terrence himself, and he too is free to gamble and release the souls under his control. Like Osiris, the victims must pledge their souls first, but Atten is subtle enough to partially grab hold of the soul from someone taken by surprise. In one instance, it was able to grip Jotaro's soul without being able to steal it when Terrace guessed the punch correctly. In theory, Atten is then free to attack the associated body part, but was never seen doing so. The attack is manifested by Atten detaching its hand and latching onto the target's body part. It isn't known what the range is for this technique. Like his brother's stand, mentally giving up would trigger its abilities, just as an out-and-out loss. And Terrence himself is not immune to his stand's own rules. Unlike his brother's stand, losing losing does not release all the souls in Terrance's collection. This fight wouldn't be too much of a challenge for Terrance. Saitama is horrible at playing video games since he lost every time against King. Granted, King had very impressive skills using just one of his fingers to play, but I also think Terrance could do the same and capture Saitama's soul. After all, his whole power set revolves around playing video games. And there you have it, 7 stands that would beat Saitama. What do you think of this list? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. With that being said, thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one.